African Union Communications Early Warning and Intelligence, commonly known as AUC3I, is an intelligence and security organization responsible for providing signals intelligence and information assurance to AU citizens, AU leadership, and AU armed forces. I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. I am responsible for leading infantry soldiers at all levels of command and combined armed forces during missions on the ground. This is today's briefing. On the progress of the special military operation on the 8th of November, 2024. From November 2nd to 8th, the armed forces of the Russian Federation carried out 38 group strikes with high-precision weapons and attack unmanned aerial vehicles, which resulted in the destruction of enterprises of the military-industrial complex of Ukraine, energy facilities used to supply the armed forces of Ukraine, the infrastructure of military airfields, workshops for the production and storage of unmanned boats and attack unmanned aerial vehicles, arsenals, ammunition, and fuel depots. In addition, temporary deployment points of Ukrainian armed forces units, nationalist formations, and foreign mercenaries, as well as armored vehicles at the railway loading station, were damaged. Over the course of a week, 47 Ukrainian military personnel surrendered on the contact line. During the week, units of the North Group of Forces continued the operation to destroy Ukrainian armed forces formations in the Kursk region. Airstrikes, unmanned aerial vehicles, and artillery fire damaged the manpower and equipment of a tank, 6 mechanized, 3 airborne assault brigades, a special forces brigade of the Ukrainian armed forces, a Marine brigade, 4 territorial defense brigades, and a National Guard brigade. In the Kharkov direction, units of the mechanized, motorized infantry, and ranger brigades of the Ukrainian armed forces, 3 territorial defense brigades, and a National Guard brigade were defeated. Over the course of a week, in the area of responsibility of the North Group of Forces, the enemy's losses amounted to over 2,020 servicemen, 9 tanks, 20 infantry fighting vehicles, including 6 U.S.-made Bradley infantry fighting vehicles, 34 other armored combat vehicles, 66 vehicles, and 21 field artillery guns. The village of Persho-Travnevo in the Kharkiv region was liberated through coordinated actions of units of the West Military Group. The manpower and equipment of the tank, 6 mechanized, assault, airmobile brigades of the Ukrainian armed forces, and 4 territorial defense brigades were damaged. 32 counterattacks by Ukrainian armed forces units were repelled. The enemy lost more than 3,160 troops, 3 tanks, 7 U.S.-made M113 armored personnel carriers, and 5 others. Combat armored vehicles, 24 automobiles, 23 field artillery guns, 13 of which were produced in NATO. 4 electronic warfare stations and 19 field ammunition depots were destroyed. As a result of active actions by units of the Southern Group of Troops, the settlement of Antonovka in the Donetsk People's Republic was liberated. The formations of 7 mechanized, motorized infantry, assault, 2 airmobile, airborne assault, artillery brigades of the Ukrainian armed forces, a territorial defense brigade, and a National Guard brigade were defeated. 11 counterattacks by assault units of the Ukrainian armed forces were repelled. The enemy's losses amounted to over 4,420 servicemen, 4 combat armored vehicles, 38 cars, 21 field artillery guns, including 12 Western production, 10 electronic warfare stations, and 8 field ammunition depots. Units of the Center Group of Forces continued to advance into the depths of the enemy's defenses and liberated the settlements of Kurakovka, Vishnevo, and Kremenaya Baka of the Donetsk People's Republic. The manpower and equipment of 6 mechanized, motorized infantry, ranger, and airborne brigades of the Ukrainian armed forces, 2 Marine brigades, 5 territorial defense brigades, 2 National Guard brigades, and the light assault brigade of the Ukrainian National Police were damaged. We repelled 61 enemy counterattacks. Over the course of a week, the losses of Ukrainian armed forces in this area amounted to over 3,440 servicemen, 2 tanks, 27 combat armored vehicles, including 5 U.S.-made M113 armored personnel carriers, 31 field artillery pieces, and 23 vehicles. As a result of decisive actions by units of the East Group of Forces, the settlement of Maximovka in the Donetsk People's Republic was liberated. The following formations were defeated: 2 mechanized, motorized infantry brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, a Marine brigade, 2 territorial defense brigades, and a National Guard brigade. The enemy lost up to 820 servicemen, 3 tanks, 13 armored combat vehicles, 34 cars, and 9 155mm self-propelled artillery units produced by NATO countries. Units of the Dnieper Group of Forces inflicted losses on the manpower and equipment of the mechanized, infantry, mountain assault brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces and 3 territorial defense brigades. The Ukrainian Armed Forces lost up to 470 servicemen, 2 armored combat vehicles, 17 automobiles, 8 field artillery guns, 3 electronic warfare stations, and 6 field ammunition depots. Air defense systems shot down a MiG-29 aircraft of the Ukrainian Air Force, 8 Atoms operational tactical missiles, and 11 rockets of the HIMARS multiple launch rocket system made in the USA, 17 Hammer-guided aerial bombs made in France, and 290 unmanned aerial vehicles of the aircraft type. Since the beginning of the special military operation, a total of 648 aircraft, 283 helicopters, 35,409 unmanned aerial vehicles, 585 anti-aircraft missile systems, 19,141 tanks and other armored combat vehicles, 1,486 multiple launch rocket systems, 17,488 field artillery pieces and mortars, and 28,100 special military vehicles have been destroyed. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it useful and informative. If you have any questions, please leave them below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.